Good morning, students. Today we will be studying about the last topic of chapter number 3, which is classification of elements and periodicity in properties. And today we are going to cover the topic electronegativity. So, electronegativity, it is a quantitative measure of an ability of an atom in any chemical compound which attracts a shared pair of electron towards itself. That means we know that the elements are the elements combine with each other by covalent bond. So when the covalent bond is formed, there is mutual sharing of electrons between two atoms. So all the covalent bonds are not similar actually. So to study all these things, the nature of covalent bond between atoms, a new concept was introduced, and which was called as by Pauling. It was introduced by a scientist called as Pauling. So Pauling introduced this technique which is called as electronegativity, which helps us to provide the quantitative measure. Now we cannot measure it properly exactly, so it's just an approximate measure. So electronegativity is a tendency, the tendency of an atom of an element to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself in a covalent bond. So let us discuss about these things. Now we know that when there will be sharing of electrons, so suppose this is an electron, suppose this is an atom and this is also an atom, A and B are two atoms, so they will share the electrons. Okay, they will be sharing of the electrons. Okay, so what happens if this B it's more stronger? Example, if there are two friends and they need to share an apple, so they both are equally strong, so they will just share the apple into two equal parts. But if someone is more powerful than the other one, so the powerful one he is able to take the more part of an apple. So this apple example is called as a shared pair of electron. So if B is more powerful, then B will have the electrons towards itself and A will be little far. Okay, so the more electronegative the atom is, the more sharing or the more shared pair of electron will go towards itself. So the atom which is more electronegative, it will attract the shared pair of electron more towards itself. Okay, so the greater the electronegativity of an atom, the greater will be the tendency of attraction of a shared pair of electron towards itself. And this study has been concluded that fluorine atom has the greatest power of attracting the electrons, and it is most electronegative element. Okay, so fluorine, out of all the elements in the periodic table, this fluorine is the most electronegative element, and all these things, whatever we are studying about atomic properties such as ionization, enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, these are related to the individual gaseous atom, and the electronegativity is related to the atoms in a bonded state, because all the properties which we have learned were only about the atom, but here the electronegativity, it depends upon the two atoms which are bonded with the help of a covalent bond. So electronegativity value of different elements are not measured, but they are derived. It is not a quantitative property which we cannot measure it, but we can just derive indirectly by different methods. And so there are many methods. So a number of relative scales of electronegativity are introduced. So the main scale to study the electronegativity is known as the Pauling scale. Okay. So by the help of Pauling scale, we measure the electronegativity, and it was introduced by Linus Pauling in 1932. Okay. So in this, they find the large electronegativity difference between the two atoms, and then the Pauling assigned the value of 4. Pauling assigned the value 4, which is the most electronegative element. Okay. So that is fluorine. So fluorine is the most electronegative element, and he find out this by his scale called as Pauling scale, and he find out the electronegativity of these. So there are many factors which affect the electronegativity, such as the oxidation state and hybridization. So after this, we move to the topic which is the periodic trends in the chemical properties. So the periodic trends the periodic properties plays important role when we study these chemistry of the elements and their compounds. So periodic trends of this property in the table, which is along the period of the group. So first I'll write the heading, periodic trends in chemical properties. Okay, so when we move along when we move from left to right like this along the period, okay, and when we move down the group, so we see some chemical behavior, and the main trends in the periodic property of the elements, they are all they are all together, and we see these trends as diagonal relationships and inert pair effect. Then there is more the effect of lanthanides and lanthanides, etc. So the first trend which we will be studying here will be the periodicity of valence or oxidation state. Alright. So in this, the valency is the most characteristic property of the element, and it has been observed that the chemical properties of elements also depend upon the number of electrons present in the outermost shell. So the electrons present in the outermost shell are called as valence electrons. We know, everyone knows that. Okay, so when we discuss about this, so either the number of valence electron or equal to 8 minus the number of valence electrons. So if you see this table, we'll find out that the elements, all the atoms have different oxidation state, or we should say different valence electrons in the outermost shell. So we see that the variations in this, like in the period, the electrons, if we move across the period from left to right, we see that the number of valence electron increases from 1 to 8. Okay, because here the valence electron is only 1, and if we count the valence electron of fluorine, that means it is 7, and at last to the noble gases it is 8. So the number of valence electrons increases from 1 to 8 moving across the period. So the valency of the element with respect to the hydrogen and chlorine increases from 1 to 4, and then they decrease to 0. And we also see the elements of second and third period, like second and third period. So the numbers of the valence electrons are different. Okay, so like lithium is having 1 electron in the outermost shell, and here the fluorine has the 7 electron in the outermost shell, and then the neon will have 8 electron in the outermost shell. So this valency of an element increases from 1 to 4, and then it decreases from 4 to 0. So this is the valency across the period. Okay, so valency is also termed, when we say valency, so the term oxidation state is preferred frequently and used for the valency. So if we say valency, we can also use the word of oxidation, and oxidation state is it's the charge which is acquired by atoms on the basis of electronegativity consideration of the atoms in the molecule. That is the oxidation state. So they both are same. Then there are variations which we have just studied. Variations. So variations of valency in the periodic table. Okay, so we know that in the table it will move from left to right. When we move, it will increase from 1 to 0, and then it will decrease. But the variation in a group, how does the variation comes in a group? So now in the group, when we move down the group, okay, so the number of valence electrons will remain same, and therefore all the elements in the group, they exhibit the same valency. For example, all the elements in group number 1 here have 1 valency, and here in the group number 2 they all will have valency 2. It is because the number of valence electron will remain same, and that's why they form the same formula of the hydrides and chlorides. Okay, so that is the thing. So after this we come to the topic of anomalous properties of second period elements. So what is this anomalous properties of the second period element? So as we have learned that elements in group show similar physical chemical property. So the first element, like this is lithium, and then this beryllium, and then boron and carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, all these elements, that means the first elements of each group, from lithium to this fluorine, from these alkali metal to the halogens. Okay, so 13 from this 1, 2 and 13 to 17, especially not these. We are not discussing about the d block element here. So they differ in many things from the other members of their groups, and these are the anomalous behavior. Okay, so example, lithium shows an anomalous behavior as compared to sodium. Here, the lithium shows a different behavior as compared to sodium and rest of the family members of the group. Okay, of this alkali family, so it forms compounds with the covalent characters such as the other members in the group, and forms ionic compounds. So it also forms, because all these will form ionic compound, and it can form the covalent compound also with itself. Similarly, this beryllium, it is the first member of alkaline earth metal. So it also differs with the other group members, like it also forms covalent compounds unlike the alkaline earth metals. Okay, so these all form ionic compounds. So this is the thing, that it has been observed that some elements of the second period, this all second period, which is this period, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, so all these elements of the second period, they show some anomalous behavior. Okay, so this similarity with the elements of third period present diagonally with each other, and this effect is called as the diagonal relationship. Because example we see this lithium resembles the with the properties of magnesium sometimes. Okay, for group number 2, and then the beryllium will resemble the property of aluminium. Okay, and this boron will resemble the property of the silicon, and then this carbon will resemble the property of this phosphorus, and then nitrogen will from this. So there is a kind of a connection which is called as the diagonal relationship. Okay, this connection when the element shows the property of the second group, the other group element, which is called as the diagonal relationship. Example, the diagonal, this is an important topic, diagonal relationship. Okay, so like this group number 1, group 2, group 3, 13, group 14, and here it's lithium, then it's beryllium, then boron, and then carbon. So this lithium will show the property of magnesium, and this beryllium will behave like aluminium, and then the boron will like silicon. So this is called as a diagonal relationship. Now, anomalous behavior of the first members of each group as compared to their group members, what are they? Number 1, it's small size of the atom and its ion, then the large charge, then the higher electronegativity and non-availability of the d orbitals. So these are some things which are in this anomalous behavior of the elements. Now next we move to the last topic of the chapter, which is periodic trends and chemical reactivities. Periodic trends and chemical reactivity. Okay, so what are these trends and chemical reactivity? We see that there are some high chemical reactivity at two extreme ends on the lowest in the center. That means that when we study this table, we see that all these are the metals. So lithium is the strongest metal, while this fluorine at the end is the strongest non-metal. So that means the metallic character from left to right across the period decreases, and the non-metallic character increases. That means the high chemical reactivity are there in the two extreme ends. The extreme ends is here, so they are very reactive, but they are metals, and here they are very reactive, but they are non-metals. But in the center, it is the lowest. So that is the periodic trend in the chemical reactivity. So then also the acidic character increases. They are all these elements, like these are the alkali metals and alkane earth metals. So these are all basic characteristics. So the elements of the oxides will behave as basic, and when they will move from left to right, they will behave as acidic. So because metallic oxides are basic in nature and non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Okay, so the basic character will be more here, this side, and it will be lesser this side. And if we talk about this D block and F block elements, so they are less electropositive than group number 1 and 2 metals. So these are some trends. So if you also see in the book, it's given. So that's all in the chapter which we have discussed. So this finishes the chapter, and it was the last topic which also has been discussed with everyone. Like here, so the electron gain enthalpy will increase when we move from left to right to the period. Ionization enthalpy will also increase. The non-metallic character will increase to this, and metallic character to this side. And the electron radius will decrease from moving from left to right. Electronegativity will increase. So this is a very helpful table. So you have to learn this. If you learn this, you will be able to find out all the things. Electronegativity also increases because they will attract the electron more, because fluorine is, it only needs one electron, so it will be more electronegative as compared to the other elements. So that group, halogen groups. Thank you.